Oh my god, this siege battle has it all. It's a 4v4, we've got an epic walled settlement, the players are really good, it's intense action, and also it's a nail biter, and there's dance. So welcome guys, back to another Rome 2 siege battle. Get your snacks and drinks. You are going to enjoy this one because it's just like non-stop action, it's super close. I don't want to give anything away, but ooh. You're going to be biting your nails, all right? Because that's how close it's going to be. So let's go ahead and check out these factions, dive into this battle, and see what this is all about. So, yeah, this is a 4v4. I am playing as one of the defenders. I'm playing as Bactria. Gotta love Bactria. They're pretty cool. And then next to me, we've got Sparta. And then we have Carthage, another solid defending faction. All these factions are very solid. And then we have the Arverni. So you throw a little, barbarians are like salt or a nice spice. You throw a little bit into your pot and it's going to make it taste delicious. But if you have too many barbarians, well, then you're going to ruin your meal. No, I'm just kidding. Barbarian factions are awesome. You can never have enough of them. They're like, what's something really good that you can't have enough of? I don't know. That's for you to decide. But let's go ahead and look at the attackers. We have the Seleucids. We've got Nabatea. And then we have the faction I completely forgot how to pronounce. And I hate when people pick them because I just never know how to pronounce it. But it's the Iberian boys. We'll call them that. And then we have Mesaceli. So some really awesome factions today. It's going to be really exciting stuff. And when we played this siege battle, we did a pick and ban phase during the lobby when we were in the game lobby. So basically, we would just take turns picking and banning factions. And I love doing that because you get some really interesting factions instead of just playing the same old like OP factions. You have to kind of get creative with your selections and and try to build a strong synergy team, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, right away, we've got a nice early push from the Seleucids. They're moving up some thorax swordsmen to the walls. So they've got 3 tortoises, and this is one of the reasons why the Seleucids are so strong, right? They've got the tortoise capability. Not every faction can bring a tortoise like Egypt. Egypt can't bring a tortoise. Egypt's still very strong, but there's a reason why the Seleucids edge out in terms of power compared to Egypt is because, well, one reason is that they've got tortoises, and tortoises are so effective because they open holes in the wall very quickly. So that's going to be a huge help to the attackers here. Now we do have some artillery. That was a really good artillery hit right there. This unit's down. Already lost 20 men. That's insane. But look at that. They're trying to destroy this tortoise. But another reason tortoises are so good. And here's a little bit of a sally out here from the cav. We got some mercenary Celtic light horse from Carthage moving out and trying to slow down the tortoises because I think we're trying to light this one on fire. And another reason, before I was interrupted by the cav charge, another reason that tortoises are so good is because they're really strong and they're really tough to bring down. Now, you pretty much have to use all of your ammo to bring down one tortoise. And that's what he's doing right here. The damage is at 84%. The cav charges in to slow down this advance because it will save the defenders a lot of the defenders will save lives if they can destroy this tortoise and only give the attackers 2 breach points to attack instead of 3. Over here, we got Nabatea and allies pushing up their siege towers, trying to get to the walls and attack this. This is a really good position to attack. So like right here, really solid space. And if you can get through, there's a big opening here you can maneuver around and make it kind of challenging for the defenders to hold. Now over here, we got a bit of a 1v1. Arverni taking on Mesaceli. So that's going to keep it easy for Arverni here. But let's just hope that we can hold and not have to bother the Arverni player from having to send over reinforcements, because we want him completely focused on Mesaceli. And look at this delayed attack. It's not a terrible idea since you are alone. It's not like It's not like he's hurting his team by not just aggressively pushing. If anything, he's helping because, you know, he's going to wait a little bit and hope that our Vernie's going to have to shift over units to support the other fight and then move in. You know, then you're taking on a player who's micromanaging and, you know, trying to do that. So let's go back here where we do have some tortoises finally knocking down some walls. We're doing a considerable amount of damage. This unit's down to 141, so they lost about 20 men there. This unit hasn't lost anyone, so that's good on them. Over here, 93. So Thorax Swordsmen are not cheap, and to see them push up the equipment like this is, you know, is a good sign because, hey, they're using expensive units and they're getting cut down before they even get to the walls. Now, unfortunately, look how close this tortoise is from being destroyed. 95% damage and 54% fire damage. It was so close to being destroyed. And that's just one of those moments where you're just like, ah, dang it, man. Like, it's just one more hit. One more hit, and I would have done it. Yeah, they're now down to 137 over here. We got another tortoise from Nabatea pushing forward. And another one from the Iberian boys pushing forward. Iberian swordsmen pushing this one. The siege towers are holding position, and that's okay. You know, if they want to take their time, that's fine. The longer they wait, the better our chances of winning this battle because of, you know, them running out of time. They have an hour to take the settlement. Now, obviously, there's less than an hour in the battle replay, so you know that it's not going to come to that. There's going to be a victor based on slaughtering each other, but who's it going to be? Attackers or defenders? Here comes this push. And guys, it gets juicy. This battle is just, it gets messy in a good way. But yeah, nice little volley there from the spears, the Spartan spears, and my Thorax Swordsmen just trying to support where we can and chop down these the enemy Thorax Swordsmen. Late Libyan hoplites holding them in place while they're just getting chopped up. Just getting Swiss cheesed. Got a bunch of holes in this line because they're just getting focused down. Over here, we also have another push from the Seleucids pushing for Alexandria. The spears, the Spartan spears are ready to hold. And then back over this way, we've got another position where the Seleucids have actually pushed through and are going to take this gate. Wasn't too worried about it. This unit's super depleted. I don't even know if they have enough numbers to take this gate. See, they're dropping men already. The tower is killing them. But even if they do, not a big deal. It's not something I'm going to panic over. So, one little mistake that I made here. I'm going to do some slow motion really quick. One mistake that I made is when you're playing a siege battle, you don't want to stretch out your army too much. Rely on your allies to defend their side. What I'm doing here is a big no-no. Lately, I've been making a lot of mistakes, and, you know, it just happens. But, for example, I should have all of my army here, right here. Not have a couple units over here. Because when defending a siege battle, you want to make sure you use every unit to the best of their potential. And if you're busy microing for over here and then you got to head back over here, some units are going to be neglected. You know, they're not going to be able to be used to their fullest potential, as in these throw spears. You know, you want to make sure you use up as much ammo as you can before you charge them into melee. So that's one little mistake I made there. And I just want to kind of let you guys know, or what helps me. I mean, my advice could be terrible. I'm sure some of you guys out there think I'm just trash or whatever. That's fine. But in my experience, I perform a lot better when my army can focus on one flank, not on many flanks. There we go. Here comes a little charge. I've got some Bactrian Hillmen going in first against these Thorax Swordsmen. A fresh unit of Thorax Swordsmen. There were some traps set up here that the enemy fell into. That's another reason why we didn't pursue this unit, because of the traps. But yeah, we're charging in. I'm charging my Thorax Swordsman with my Hillmen, just supporting this line and making sure the Seleucids don't take too much ground. While that's going on, I got some Thorax Swordsmen helping out the Spartans. We're quickly trying to defeat the Thorax Swords of the Seleucids. We're trying to quickly get them out of here. So that's one less army we have to deal with. Also, look at this. We had a little bit of a sally out from the Carthaginian cav. I also have a sally out cav force, but I didn't see an opportunity. So I decided to fall back. I was like, nope. I was going to go for the archers here, but he shifted his infantry to protect the rear of them. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to push my luck. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for another opportunity to run down archers. And guys, you got to be patient when you sally out with cav. You can't just force it. You know, it's okay that they see your cav is outside the city. Many times players will get tunnel vision and they'll forget about it later on in the game, and then you'll have another opportunity to crush some archers or get a rear charge or whatever. Now I do apologize about the lag. It is a 4v4, so we got a lot of units on the battlefield right now, and it gets crazy. Definitely gets crazy. Back over this way, this is what I'm talking about. Oof. Armored Desert Cav hitting the rear of my troops. My thorough spears just not being used properly, and I am just, you know, I'm having a tough time here. I'm trying to hold this position, and I'm doing a very poor job with it. I've got some Peltis over here who are in the front line. That's not a good sign. Carthage is moving up troops to try to deal with this force. I've got another unit of Thorac swordsmen coming in to support. It's just getting really messy, and this front over here is not going well. It's just, yeah, we're kind of struggling to hold against Nabatea and the Iberian boys. But we're trying to contain it. You can tell here that we're trying to contain this line. Good news is that they stop attacking my throw spears. I'm going to have them throw, and then they're going to counter throw, and they're about to clash in combat, close combat. And there's a little bit of a wall battle up here that, look at this. The Arverni having to send over troops to help out. I've got my Thorac swordsman up here trying to hold this wall as well. Masacele is just now pushing, and there's been a little bit of a fight where the Arverni are kind of taking care of it with their, so what unit is this? Celtic warriors. So let's go back over here where the fight against the Seleucids seemed to be going much smoother. You know, we've contained it a lot better. They're not running through gaps or anything. I mean, they've got a couple troops that have made it through, but it's not a big deal. We've got Spartan support. They're using their spears here, throwing some javies. I've got a reserve at Thorac swordsman. You know, that's always a good sign when you got a reserve force and you're sitting back. Here comes the Spartans. They're going to charge in. Ooh, get a good toss there of javies. Just look at this. Juicy battle. Now I'm moving up my pikemen. And again, I usually tell you guys, hey, don't use pikemen until the very end of the battle. But the situation here is that I felt that the Seleucids were very isolated. And I felt that if we could quickly crush them, I mean, look how far away they are from their allies. If we could quickly crush them, then we're going to have a bunch of fresh troops that are going to be able to maneuver this way and help hold this front line, which is quickly deteriorating. And also, we have some artillery coming in that is trying to soften up the Cretan archers who are defending the city. Look at this. Juicy fight. Now we got some pikemen over here pushing up as well. We got African pikemen from Carthage. And it even looks like we've kind of pushed back a little bit, which is good. We're containing the situation. We're making it so they don't break through, and we can quickly focus down the Seleucids. So it's a tough fight over there, a ferocious fight. And then we're going to head back over here with the Arverni, where they're still taking on Masacele. It looks like Masacele has opened up a wall here. It's kind of awkward of a little bit of a breach. You got a lot of palm trees and a small shed. Who lives there? You know, like, what poor guy? He's just like peeking through this little hole. He's like, hey, go away. Go away. But the Levy Freemen are trying to hold. It's not a bad idea to try to hold with Levy Freeman. Save the elite troops for later, which he is definitely doing. He's got a lot of the chosen swords in the back. He's got archers in the back. That's always smart. It's always smart to not force too many of your units in a situation where they don't need to be in yet, if you get what I'm saying. Like, just slowly hold with as little troops as possible and slowly move up reinforcements when needed. You don't have to panic and send everybody to defend the walls. Just kind of have a good amount of forces, make sure all your flanks are protected, and slowly move up the reinforcements. That way you got troops that are fresh, haven't taken any casualties, ready to go. So the fighting for the walls are still going on. Pixelated is just not willing to give up here. They want these walls, and it's getting juicy. Some archer fire coming out, coming up, I should say, at the walls. The Gaelic hunters trying to soften them up. Let's go back over this way where, oh my god, the Iberian boys are pushing. They are pushing, and just look how chaotic this is. That's exactly what it is. It's chaotic, it's madness, and it's not a good defense on our side. So we're having to reform. We're crumbling. My thorax swordsman over here. I got 129 kills. They're doing well, but they're about to be surrounded from this flanking force. We've got archers out of position. So I'm over here trying to quickly kill the Seleucids. I am trying to quickly kill these guys. And just give you a little bird's eye view of the situation with the Seleucids. They are so close to being destroyed. So close. They've got a couple swordsmen, and he's doing the right thing. This is a good move by the Seleucid player, who's running up the stairs and using the walls as a bit of a last stand. It makes it so that the pikemen aren't as effective. Pikemen do not fight well on walls, obviously. So this is a good move. But we really need to close in and deal with it. And there we go. There goes the Spartans. And I've got my Bactrian Royal Guard. So, you know, even though the Seleucids are near the end here, they've lost a lot of their troops, I've also lost a lot of my troops as well in the pursuit of destroying the Seleucids. Bactria and the Seleucids, we were at each other's throats, and we're pretty much both destroying each other. Now with my cav, remember my Sally out cav? I decided to bring them in. I decided that, hey, the situation going on over here on this front is not looking good, and I gotta throw whatever I have in reserve. I need to throw my cav. I need to throw, let's see, what is this? Some pikemen. I'm sending pikemen over there right now. Like, just getting them a little bit closer, just so if they're needed, they can move up and deal with this. There's a front line that's forming about right here, thanks to the Spartan reserves, Carthaginian forces, and it's getting messy, guys. We are holding them at this choke point here. So I've got some thorax swordsmen with 92 kills, not doing amazing, but they're doing what they can. We're trying to stop the bleeding. We're trying to contain these guys so they don't push us out. And there we go. There goes my pikeman. I think at this point we are calling. Yep, we are calling for the Arverni to send up reinforcements. That's not good. That's not good. He's focusing with Pixelated. You don't want to bother him. You don't want to have to make a micro across the siege map. You know what I mean? So it's not a good situation. And here we go. Here's the final push of the Seleucids. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to charge out. I saw an opportunity. Like, hey, wait a second. There's nobody protecting these archers. Now's my time to shine. Let's go ahead and get a nice view of... Just pretend we're one of the soldiers on horseback here, going for a rear charge. Yeah, back in the day, the ancient times, it was very laggy. There goes that charge. It was a little awkward thanks to the tortoise. But yeah, we're taking out the archers. That causes him to kind of fall back from his position, which is great. And man, the Seleucids are a tough faction to beat. There we go. There's another charge on the archers, getting the archers out of there. Artillery's coming down. Look at this. And that, yeah, that's not good. Oh my god. That's a cool animation. That's a cool animation. So, you see these buildings? In Rome 2, you can get in these buildings, but it literally only takes like 2 volleys from artillery to destroy. So be very careful if you're going to use this building, and it is a useful building. You can put archers up here and stuff, but be careful because the artillery could bring it down so quickly and you can lose an entire unit. There we go. My cav's still in the back line. Just keeping the troops in the back busy. I'm pretty much going to suicide my cav in here. Just keep them in the fight. And I'm even sallying out. Look at this. I'm like, no, no, no. You're not running. I'm trying to destroy the Seleucids as quick as possible. I think the Seleucids have called it quits. And this is a good idea. He's going to go ahead and shift his reserves over to the other side to support that main push where they're having much more success. They're having a lot more success. Which, unfortunately, I think my pikeman just broke there. But look at this front line. I mean, look at the carnage here. Just an absolute slaughter. Trying to hold this front against Nabatea and the Iberian boys, it's quite the struggle. But the good news with the Seleucids shifting over their reserves over to the other side is that we get to do it too. We can now shift our forces to this side. And you can see I'm already moving some troops. I'm moving some thorax swordsmen, some fresh reserves. This is like one of my healthier units. And I lost my army so quickly in this battle. My God, look at this fight. Look at the point of view of the soldiers up here. Oh my God. That's a screenshot. That's a thumbnail right there. Holy crap, look at the amount of troops in this one area. Oh my God. That's insane. So I've got my reinforcements. I'm keeping them in reserve. I'm trying to keep them fresh. They are exhausted, and that's why I'm letting them rest up a little bit. Like, imagine being one of these soldiers, right? You're sitting here. You just fought a big battle against Seleucids. Now you're called into action again, and you have to shift into another big fight. And just the amount of sheer troops would have me just like, oh, forget this. I'm tired. I'm not fighting this. The amount of shape, like the shape you have to be in, you know, to be able to fight in a battle this long. And, you know, this is obviously short compared to realistic, you know, how long battles would be. But that just shows how important it is shifting out your troops, at least in a historical level, you know, as the Romans would shift out their troops to keep them fresh. It's a little harder to do in Rome too, but it is possible. But I went ahead and pushed up my troops because I saw a little gap between the pikemen. So there's like 2 pike units. I'm trying to squeeze my thorax swordsman through. There we go, more men pushing forward. And here's my other pike unit coming in. I'm gonna counter their pikes with my pikes. Get up there and give them the 1-2. Unfortunately, my thorax swordsmen, oh no, they're still alive. They're down to 59. They have 124 kills, not bad. Fighting for the walls has begun. Arverni's sending over more reinforcements to fight for these walls. Over here, Masacely is still being battled against chosen swordsmen, trying to take them on. And already, we're down to just 15 minutes left in this battle replay. Levy Freeman trying to soften up these desert legionaries, holding them back with another unit of Levy Freeman. I love the use of Levy Freeman. It's cool to see the low tier units kind of do some work. So yeah, but Masacely, he's still got a decent amount of reserves. He's holding back his slingers, which is smart because slingers are best used inside a settlement rather than outside. So he's really relying on his infantry alone to try to take this settlement, but you know, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Masacely's definitely being held back thanks to Arverni. And also Arverni's doing work over here. He's given hope to the team. My God, look at this. Look at that. Look at the cart. Look at the dead body. It's just insane. This was such a cool fight to watch when playing live. It was just like 2 unstoppable forces, 2 lines that weren't willing to give up. So at this point of the battle, I believe all I have is my general, which is already kind of depleted. 106 men left out of the 160, but I really needed them to get to that front line and support this battle. And I saw their general is in the front line as well, so I thought, hey, this could be an opportunity for my general to get in there and do some damage. Now he is exhausted, but He doesn't have a choice. He's got to get in there and support this fight. Got my Thorax Swordsman up here with 228 kills, doing pretty good. Bactrian Royal Guard moving up. Sparta's now setting in their reserves, fresh reserves. Both sides, it's like an endless amount of troops. Both sides just constantly moving in more men. And let's not forget about the Seleucids, who still have their reserves, pushing up their troops as well that we just couldn't kill. And they're now being a thorn in our side. Now we also have a general in our rear. Look at this. General in our rear. I've got a unit of pikemen that broke. I'm going to use them to kind of chase down this general. But I think his general died, actually. I think he died because we focused him down with archer fire up here. We kind of missed it, but his general was just sitting here. We had slingers up here, which you can kind of see some of them, and we just focus fired and killed them. Which is, you know, that's part of that map awareness, part of that micro. You got to be good at it. You got to be, you got to look out for things like that. But it was a nice little win there, a nice little general snipe. And now we have some Spartan pikemen in the front as well. So the pikes never end for us either. And that's a good sign because we really need these pikes to win this battle. What a fight, man. Just what a fight. Now here's a big concern. This is the biggest concern right here. This entire flank has now been opened. The floodgates are open. Nabatea, Seleucids going around our flank. I'm now having to shift my general, one of my last units, to defend my allies' flank. There we go. I'm going to charge him in. Just a clash of shields and swords and spears. I wish the newer Total Wars were like this, man. Here's another charge. Heroes of Sparta going in for another clash. Trying to protect the flank. Because we got a good thing going on this side. The pikemen are making progress. And we can't afford to let them get outflanked or it's all for nothing. Sparta's sending up reinforcements. Sparta's also kind of running out of reinforcements. Unfortunately, Carthage is starting to waver here. The enemy pikes are making some ground, just like our pikes are making some ground as well. And the dust is starting to clear a little bit. Finally, we're seeing these armies kind of deplete down into nothing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Over here we have generals, it looks like chasing enemy generals? Not sure, but it looks like Massaceae is broken through. The Levy Freemen were just not strong enough to hold back Massaceae. Now they're pushing in their slingers, and that's a troubling sign. The balance of power is not looking good for us, but as long as we still have an army, there is hope. Now, unfortunately, I think my general died. I think he died trying to hold the flank. Yep, there's his unit. Bactrian Royal Guard. 121 kills, not enough. And they're still getting shot at. Look at that. Oh my god. That was kind of a cool scene. Look at that, like, why? We failed the general. Look at the arrows just stuck in this guy, man. This poor guy. This guy gets to peacefully die. He's just like, you know, he's storing. There they go. All three of these three heroes who tried to defend the flank. Tragic end for those men. But there you go. The flank causes a pretty big commotion there, causing a lot of breaking. But at the same time, over on this flank, we are pushing them back. We're so close to killing this noble fighter unit. And we've got to kill the generals because that will hurt the morale of these attacking armies. We got to do it quickly. Nice little flanking maneuver. I think we won over here. Arverni's closing in. Look at this chosen swordsman. Not going to let these noble fighters escape. And that general is going to get focused down. They are seeking revenge for the Bactrian general. There you have it. He's breaking. And this does look like it's going to be just a victory by the skin of our teeth over here. After so much fighting, and this epic front line. I mean, look at all the brave souls who fell trying to fight through this. Oh my god. Including my general who was a part of that. I think he fell like over here trying to hold the flank. Jeez, what an absolute slaughter. But they are victorious. We are victorious. I can't believe it. I think it was the Spartan pikes and the great flanking maneuvers by Arverni, great front line by the Carthaginians that really got us that victory, but it's far from over. It's far from over. We still have Pixelated. The balance of power, I think, did shift a little bit back up towards our favor. It's still in their favor, but, you know, here comes a little charge. Not a great charge from Pixelated. And we have the Oathsworn, the general, the Arverni taking on the general of Pixelated. We take Pixelated's general out, then it's most likely GG for us, as in we're gonna win. But he's getting really gutsy with this this unit. His general. Wait, no, that's not a general. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'm a total idiot. The general's back here. I'm sorry. That's just a normal cav unit. Okay, so that's why he's being aggressive. He's trying to get to these archers. So we're now rallying up all the troops. We've got the slingers who are still alive, shifting over to his allies. And this is what it's coming down to, guys. I mean, how cool is that of a battle? I mean, I love it when you have like everyone just committing everything in this area, and it comes down to just a handful of troops who are going to decide the battle. That's so cool. We had a big fight over here too. It was awesome. I just enjoyed watching this battle. I mean, it just felt so chaotic and so awesome. God, I mean, where are all the good Total Wars, man? I mean, look at this battlefield. You don't see that anymore. It's tragic, tragic. I don't care about heroes. I don't want heroes. I want to see the common soldier fight. The farmer pick up a spear and defend his country. You know, I want to know more about those men. I don't want to know about heroes that we already know about. I want to see this war fought in the eyes of the common man. You know? That's why I love Rome and Napoleon and Shogun 2. You get to see the common man defend his country or invade an enemy country or whatever. Fight for their king, fight for their emperor. But here comes Pixelated. We have Arverni trying to hold the streets here. We have the Spartans defending this side. I'm completely out of units. Now, there's another mistake I made in this battle that I haven't shown you yet, but I'm going to show you now. So basically, you know, we have a rule, max 1 artillery. The defenders get a free artillery piece, and you can put one of them on the walls. That's kind of our rules that we like to play with. Well, I brought an artillery piece, but I forgot to put it in a location that would be convenient for us. So when you don't click on the artillery and put it where you want it, the AI or whatever, the game will randomly put it somewhere on the wall. Well, where's mine? The furthest away possible. Okay, I guess it could have gone over here. But yeah, it's all the way over here. And it's too far to reach. It's too far to hit these guys. And that's such a big loss. Imagine if I put it here. I'd be sniping Pixelated in the back right now. But unfortunately, the artillery is just way too far. Alright, Carthage, African pikemen, unfortunately experiencing a lot of skirmish projectiles. Look at that. Insane amount of projectiles. It's a cool shot right there. We got slingers who are slinging. Troops are breaking. We got some naked warriors who's keeping reserve because they don't have good defense. They're going to charge in. Imagine being one of these Oathsworns or chosen swordsmen. You just fight, and then you see some, you see this like group of naked men just run through. It's like, oh, gross! Like, put some clothes on, dude. But yeah, they're fighting the good fight there, man. We're holding back Pixelated. We're actually pushing over here. So we've got a unit of chosen swordsmen and heroes of Sparta trying to push because we want to get to these archers. If we can kill the slingers, that's our biggest concern, the slingers, because they can do a lot of damage, and they have full ammo. He hasn't even really used them this battle yet. So we need to close in and try to kill him. Arverni's going to chase down this cab. Unfortunately, Masacely notices this maneuver and was able to react to it in time. But they're still chasing the cab. Look at that. Yeah, get this cab. That's another high threat target, is the cab, because they're fast, they can flank. We just don't have enough men to deal with it. Here comes a nice little charge of infantry against their infantry. Desert Legionaries against the Chosen Swordsmen. Sparta's still pursuing the cav, which is good because they're like a spear pike unit. So they're going to take them out, try to take them out. So we're trying, man. Arverni is kicking butt right now. Sparta's got their pikemen supporting this front. And yeah, just push. We're pushing. We're closing in on all sides. The general now charging into the Spartan general. And Sparta's having to hold against 2 units of cav. But hey, we saw Sparta in action. They excel at holding. They excel at being surrounded and fighting off the enemy. So this is not a bad situation for them. Back over here, Arverni unfortunately breaking, getting skirmished down. We do have some arrow towers supporting us, which is great. Trying to fire down at these troops, trying to hold them. And then this sucks, man. The slingers of justice, man. They're going to come down and get a perfect slinging position, and they are going to rack up kills against the naked warriors. Oh, yeah, not good. And Arverni has no other choice but to send up more troops, because we can't get to the slingers. One, we don't really have enough reserves to go after the slingers, and you have to break through the infantry to get up to this wall and kill these guys. The infantry battle still going on this side. The Spartans are still in it. I believe the general is still alive as well. We got some naked warriors back here too. Look at that. Arverni was able to send some naked warriors, trying to kill the general. That's another high target we're going for. You kill the general, you will cause this entire army to break. Also trying to get the slingers who are slinging at Arverni. And Arverni is full on committing. He's got archers, he's got everything he has that he's throwing at the enemy. And it's so close, guys. The balance of power, yes, is in their favor, but all it takes is the death of his general, and he could have a huge break. Uh-oh, look at this. Gallic hunters are breaking, not a good sight. We got some abilities. We got battle rhythm has been used to just keep up the fighting. I couldn't believe how these slingers were holding against an Oathsworn. Finally, they're starting to break. Battle rhythm used there. We got a nice flanking maneuver. Look at this. Arverni's starting to hit these guys on all sides. He's starting to hit them on all sides. The cav's going to close in. That's the general. You can close in on that. Try to kill the general. The Spartan, look at this. The Spartan's still like, oh, I'm so tired. So tired. Look at him stand against the cav. Spartans, man, they never quit. They never quit. Big break. Look at this. Another unit breaking from Masacely. Oh, this is definitely winnable. Oathsworn. They're trying, man. They're trying. Here we go. The Spartans stand their ground. They're like, no. The cav just avoids them. Look at the general. He's just like, I'm so freaking tired. But they're going to pursue him. There's also a little flanking maneuver here by Masacely. Desert cohort being held back by a unit of Chosen Swordsmen, which is a good move by Masacely because it prevents Arverni from consolidating his forces. Nice little charge into Arverni. And the general, this is it. I mean, we could still win here if we could just kill Masacely's general. I mean, Arverni's just taking on these Iberian slingers. It's not a big deal. You can win that easily. But the slingers are still slinging, and they focus down the general. And unfortunately, that's going to be it for our battle. And just so close. It was so close that the defenders could have won that one. I personally did pretty poor in this battle with only 1,558 kills. Now, a lot of those kills were quality because I was taking on the Seleucids, who actually had the smallest army on the battlefield today. So if I didn't spread out my army, I think it could have done a lot better. If I had my wall artillery in the right place, we could have won that battle. That was how close it was. But good game to Artemis with almost 3,000 kills. His backpack just wasn't big enough to carry us all, but it was so close. So GG to everybody who played in this one. It was a good fight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I did. And I'll see you guys next time on the battlefield.